In this lesson, we're going to level up your rhythm chops by taking a look at a funky rhythm groove and running it through a killer exercise to help you stay in time. Let's get into it. What's up, you guys? It's John here with your Tuesday Blues, where each week here on the channel we come together to talk blues or work on a tutorial like we're about to do today. If that sounds like something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you don't miss a lesson. Guitar is for vibey riffs and hot licks, and rhythm, well, we could just leave that to the drummers, right? As much as I wish we could just focus on flashy licks, you know we can't. You knew that already, right? I mean, good rhythm is as important to a guitarist as any musician, really, and being able to lock in with the beat, being able to stay in time is going to help your playing in every aspect, really, whether you're a country blues fingerpicker, an electric blues jam champ, or a weekend strummer. It's important, and having good rhythm just shows up in everything you play. And we can all get better, and with that in mind, let's dig into one of the coolest rhythm exercises ever. If you think you have bad timing, then this will help you get better, no doubt. And if you think you're all set, then run through this little test and you might find that your internal clock could use a little tune-up. To get started, let's build an example rhythm pattern. We're going to base this rhythm groove around an E9 chord here. So what I'm doing is open 6th string, and then 7th fret 5th string, 6th fret 4th string, and then borrowing with my ring finger across the 7th fret, strings 3 and 2. Really cool chord. And what we're gonna do is play this funky rhythm where we go. But let's add a count to it, and I'll walk you through each stroke that we're doing here. We're starting on beat 1 with the open 6th string. So 1. For 2, we're going to play the 2 and the and of 2, and that's going to be a down up across the top 3 strings. So we've got 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. But then we're going to finish it and fill in some of that space on the second half of the measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the and of 3, we're going to pump that bass, so a little bit off beat. And of 3, 6th string again, and then for beat 4, we're coming down strong with a downstroke across those same top 3 strings there. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now, a couple of things to get this really punchy and tight before we start really getting into the exercise. Make sure that you throw in a rest on top of beat 3. So I'm just laying my picking hand down across all 6 strings to just mute it out. It gives some nice sort of closing down to this and makes it kind of punch up the rhythm. Sometimes it's about what you don't play, and you got to really think about playing the rest. When we're talking about rhythm, that rest is very important. It kind of lets what's played after it and before it really kind of speak, right? So we've got 1, 2, and rest. 1, 2, and rest. Right there. 1, 2. All right. And what we're going to do is loop this, but every other time I want to change beat 4, just to keep things interesting. So on beat 4, the first time around, we go 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And we do a similar rest on the and of 4. For the second measure, we'll go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and do that same down up, right? And if you want to get a little groovy with it, you can change that down, that upstroke rather. Instead of here at the 7th fret, just move this up to the 9th fret and do that. Just kind of keep things funky if you want to venture out a little bit. And that would be the complete 2-bar pattern. Let's slow it down and I'll count you through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and Okay, here's where the magic happens. We'll take that pattern and play along with a drum groove. And this groove is at 148 beats per minute, which is a little fast. And if you want to practice along to a slower tempo, then check out the lesson page for TB346 on bluesguitarinstitute.com, and you'll find some examples at slower tempos. So here's the exercise. We're going to loop this pattern over the groove. And I want you to lock in with the beat. Really focus on it. And then, and this is the critical part, after 8 bars of the groove, the drums are going to drop out and leave a metronome playing for just 4 bars. I know the metronome is torturous, but it's as useful as it is hated, really. Ride it out for 4 bars. Just play along with the click. Try to pay just as much attention to that click as you did the drums. Nail the timing and lock in with just the metronome for 4 bars. And then the drums, they're going to come right back in. And that's your self-test. Make sure that you're coming back in precisely when the drums do. Did you come back in on the downbeat? If not, work on this. Loop this around several times and really pay attention to the click when the beat drops out. And if it's still out of reach for you, then definitely try a slower tempo using the tracks on the lesson page. That'll help. And if you can consistently nail the timing, coming back in on that big downbeat, then awesome, good for you. And if that's you, then you should definitely put your timing to a greater test with the next level of this exercise. This next bit can be illuminating. We're going to ditch the click entirely for that dropout. So you'll groove along with the drums for 8 bars, then the drums cut out for 4 bars. And there's just dead space there, and that's for you to fill in with the groove for 4 bars. And you got to hold that tempo constant. This is where your own internal clock has to go to work. There's nothing prompting it. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to stick the landing. Come back in precisely with the drums. Let's give that a whirl. All right, did you come back in on the beat? Were you late? Were you early? This can be telling. I mean, even if you have pretty good timing already, this can help you identify whether or not you need to work on your internal clock. And if you're like most of us, you probably do. As you're working through this lesson, keep this in mind. We could apply this practice strategy to any style of rhythm. I chose this funky groove because it's a little interesting, it's fun to play, and I think more importantly for us to learn and grow, it has 2 things, space and syncopation. And those 2 things are both really good elements of good rhythm, and practicing this will help you deepen your sense of groove, leave some space, and be able to play kind of on those off beats. But you could easily sub in a different rhythm pattern for, say, a simple backbeat. And on the lesson page, you'll find a basic beat and various tempos so that you can experiment with different rhythm patterns. Now, if you want to keep learning, just click or tap right over here, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, practice smart and play on.